we have book reviewer, Professor Fabian Borodo, who's also present. That is a bit early for his applause. He hasn't done his review yet. And of course, we have the family of Tijjani, his wife. And of course, you haven't read the book, so you will not know the story of and how very dedicated to his family he is. But she's here with us. Alhaji Borodo. We have his sons, two of them here, two of them online. We have Farouk and Issa here, and somewhere in Abuja in front of a computer or a telephone, we have the other two. So we have the whole family involved this morning, and we're very happy to welcome all of you and our guests to this very special occasion. The first order of business, and I hope I haven't left anyone important out, but I can make up for it later as we go on, is to introduce the chairman of this occasion, Oba Tudeko, CFR. Oba Tudeko is the chairman of First Bank Group Holdings Company, and he is a part of the story of First Bank for so many years, and a great part of the working life of our author this morning. So it's a great pleasure to welcome him to say a few words. For those of us in the room, he's on the screen to my right.
Hello. Yinka. Oh, wonderful. Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to Alhaji Tijjani Borodo and his family. I am greatly honored to be here today, sharing the launch of a journey in leadership by Alhaji Tijjani Borodo. I am especially happy for the opportunity to share a few short remarks about the book and the writer, who is very much intimately known to me. Permit me first to give thanks to the Almighty God for allowing us to see this epochal day. This is an occasion where I am seeing many of you in person for the first time in a while, due to what has been a very difficult year. It has been a time of introspection, occasional frustration, and most importantly, emergence possibly of a new way of living. That is why I believe the publication of this book is so timely. I had the privilege of working closely with Alhaji Tijjani Borodo for many years as chairman of First Bank and also as group chairman of FBN. TJ was our company's trusted company secretary and an able counsel to me and the entire board. I saw firsthand different facets of his leadership qualities and had the benefit of his able support as I successfully piloted the board during the time he was with us. As he took on more responsibility, his leadership style became even clearer that he was a servant leader, and he demonstrated this excellently time and time again as we worked together over the last easily 20 years plus before his retirement. The fact that this book continues in this vein is therefore no surprise to me. With the proceeds of the sale of the book to Hagia Sophia Borodo Foundation to help and empower children most in need in our society. This, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, is not a day for long speeches. I may just spare a few words with your kind permission for a journey in leadership itself. We are all leaders here, and there are many more of us out there leading others and ourselves, or both. No matter how new or seasoned a leader is, it is important to understand that the great leadership requires the recognition that we are all students on a long journey, and we sometimes need guideposts to help us on the next leg of our travels. This book is an excellent signpost pointing us in the right direction. I believe the essence of leadership is to help people find solutions to the challenges that may come their way, be it in life or in business. A journey in leadership offers insight into more rules and behaviors that we can apply if we truly believe a leader's mandate is to render services that must ease the burden of the people. I hope that every one of us here will get a copy, and better yet, share copies of this book with others, because it will help us build the kind of society we want to see in our beloved continent, indeed in our country, Nigeria, and in the world, our world at large. To our beloved Alhaji Tijjani Borodo, a leader, a towering figure in corporate Nigeria and the legal profession, a man of many parts, I say congratulations on a successful book launch, and even more on a great piece of writing. Let me also use this opportunity to thank our guests for making it here and online. I thank the MC, Mr. Yinka Akikube, also a very good friend of the ABN Group. We are more than grateful to all of you. This program could not have been successful without your special presence. May God's boundless grace lead and preserve us all, even as we continue on the journey. Congratulations to you once again, Alhaji Tijjani Borodo, a beautiful wife, and the lovely boys, the children. May God bless us all. Good morning.
So it's with great pleasure that I welcome Professor Fabian Ojogu to do justice to the review of the book, having started him off with an opening line. Professor Fabian Ojogu, thank you, sir.
Anytime you listen to him, it's a lesson in diction, how to pronounce words properly. To the very revered and respected chairman of this occasion, Dr. Obao Tudeko, our author and his beloved wife, Alhaji Borodo, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen. This is one of those occasions where you dare not into the long protocols. It's safer to just warmly welcome everyone again. So my task is to review the book, A Journey in Leadership by Tijjani Borodo. But I have to make a disclosure first and foremost. You would observe that the author is a man of compliance, a man who pays respect to regulations and to the letters of the law. You would then observe that we're nicely spaced out, observing the provisions of the Quarantine Act. So my first disclosure is that the author and I serve on the board of the Society for Corporate Governance, Nigeria. So with mutual respect and admiration, nothing else impairs my independence of thought in the academic review of the book. A Journey in Leadership by Tijjani Borodo, an accomplished lawyer, banker, and corporate governance expert, is indeed a masterpiece. Published in 2019 by May University Press Limited, Lagos, with ISBN as stated. The 171-page book is set out in 20 chapters. The style of the book is one of simple narrative delivered with a didactic approach. The author presents the reader with the simplicity of style. The humility of the author does not obfuscate the rich pedigree of his background. The book begins with a peep into the author's early days from Bukuru, Jos, 1956. In the chapter, My Father's House, the author presents the larger-than-life metaphor of a mentor father, Malam Muhammadu Borodo, the son of a nomadic trader originally from Sudan. He speaks of his mother, Hajia Safia Borodo, openly and with unhidden affection. He presents the traditional African extended family system with the clear delineation of responsibilities and a collectivist approach to coexistence and development. You will find descriptions of how his family coexisted and supported each other. You would also find much admiration for his brother, Engineer Bala Borodo, whom I can tell he's very well proud of. The second chapter presents the reader with the importance of a belief in learning, formal education, and experience. The author meticulously approaches record keeping, and this approach takes root from his interactions with his father and opportunities to take on responsibilities in life. In chapters 3 and 4 of the book, the author's academic journey is giving a deeper dive with exhortations for his former teachers and lecturers, namely Messrs. Gordon, Amankwa, Egokwe, Chokul, and others. The book is laced with photos of milestone events in the author's journey. On a lighter note, the author's photo in 1974/75 in his bongo trousers with his roommate Abu Hamajoda must have stopped him from being unduly critical of his own growing teenage children's sense of fashion at the time. He had this wide bongo trousers and high heels. The author's 1983 photo with his good wife, Hajia Larai Borodo, tells 1,000 tales about a man who remembers his early days and the wife of his youth. We now fully know the source of those endless smiles and joyful approach to life that the author has. One thing is clear from the photographs you find in the book. They were primarily about his family and friends. They were not about fame, power, connections, or glory. You would find pictures of him being proud of his brother who was here, Alhaji Borodo. A glimpse at the house in Kano, the author's house in Kano, nearly got me derailed in my review, as it drew me to remember Bompai, GRA, St. Louis, Ngwa Uku, Kundila, Masalachi Muritala, and I said, enough. Come back to the book review. Chapter 6 at Kano, through Port Harcourt and back. The chapters tell the story of this young man's growth from Bukuru Jos and share knowledge in various other aspects of life. The book shares the author's personal experience and thoughts on different subjects, such as patriotism, history, culture, religion, friendship, and family. A Journey in Leadership outlines in details the various stages of Alhaji Tijjani M. Borodo's development as a child, scholar, and legal profession of repute. The diverse chapters of the author's development are outlined in a smooth, systematic, simple, but comprehensive manner that engulfs the reader's attention. I'll pause here and share with you that I searched very hard for typos. I couldn't find. The book is well edited, well published, and in simple style. The book employs the author's reflection and story to paint a picture tale that provides a vivid account of Nigeria as a country in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. And I invite you to take a deep dive. If for anything, you will have moments of pause, reflection, and perhaps ask yourself, what happened? The wide spectrum of subject and theme makes A Journey in Leadership a veritable read for the young, the old, and those in between. If I have my way, I have lots of people to share copies of this book with, and I hope I'd be given the privilege to buy as many as I want. The book, therefore, outlines Alhaji Borodo's nascent days as a child in a traditional and pleasant Hausa Fulani home in Bukuru, living in peace and harmony in the Jos hinterlands, where the strong patriarch, Malam Muhammadu Borodo, firmly established the crux of the author's Western and Arabic education. The point being made is that they're not mutually exclusive. The author has had the benefit of both and is better for it. This foundation in Arabic school would later be significant in his spiritual journey, an appointment as chairman of the Bureau of Islamic Education. His all-encompassing education embodied the extracurricular activities he engaged in. He was playful and talented on the football pitch, where he was the starring center-back captain of his school's team. He was also a reliable assistant to his father different times, assisting him in operating a booming business. Again, a lesson to fathers and parents of the upper class that you do no good by making your children weak when you do not expose them to hard work and the things you do in life. These experiences will later serve as a springboard for the author's journey in leadership. The book highlights his stellar progression in the formal education system from his days at government college, government secondary school, Crew, where he graduated to enroll for A-levels at the Northeast College of Arts and Science, which is now known as the University of Maiduguri. After that, learned author will attend the famous Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, to study the primus inter pares, first amongst equal of courses. Please be not jealous. This is law. He is indeed a learned man. And I note that there are many educated persons in this room, but the author is a learned man. And so am I. We learned that at ABU Zaria, Tijjani M. Borodo showed his social leadership trait when he co-founded the Spirotex Social Club. The club was a beehive of activities ranging from entrepreneurial, when it organized cinematic screening for a fee. It's not today he started liking to make money decently. To the political, when the club sponsored individuals for student elections. Readers would discover that despite experiencing challenging health difficulties resulting from a serious motorcycle accident, Tijjani M. Borodo would graduate from ABU Zaria and immediately enroll for his professional qualification at the Nigerian Law School, Lagos. On graduation, Arthur, being a man of the pen, would travel beyond Nigeria to further slake his thirst for further knowledge by attending postgraduate study at the University of Essex in England. As a professional, the book outlines, for those unfamiliar with the author's resume, how he has performed with distinction in both the public and private sectors of the economy. In the public sector, Borodo was a state counsel in the Kano State Ministry of Justice. He rose to the premier position of Director of Public Prosecution. Additionally, we learn of his service as the chairman of the Rent Tribunal and the Local Government Election Tribunal in Kano. These quasi-judicial positions requiring strong leadership, ethics, were balanced by Tijjani M. Borodo and his works at the Ministry of Justice in Kano. Borodo is a great name in the premier first-generation bank, First Bank. Regarding his private sector performance, he joined the bank as a regional legal manager that oversaw the largest geographical sector in Nigeria. He was responsible for all legal issues affecting the bank in its northwest and northeast locations. From being a regional legal manager, he would later proceed to occupy the elevated position of Company Secretary of First Bank. As the Company Secretary in charge of the Secretariat of an institution such as First Bank, the author was responsible for diverse duties and function, including the annual general meeting, organization, and coordination. However, like all leadership positions placed before him previously, he performed with merit, and you heard it from the horse's mouth in his opening remarks, the chairman of the group, Dr. Oba Otudeko. And the rest is history, as he accumulated over 35 years of meritorious and dedicated service to the bank. Readers will particularly find interesting the delicate handling of his duties in the transition from a government-appointed bank chairman, Alhaji, to private sector-driven chairman, like Alhaji Mutalab and Mr. Baotudeko. The author was guided by the law and nothing more, and governance principles. He clearly understood what capitalist democracy entailed. A Journey in Leadership is a thought-provoking book that recounts the voyage of self-discovery. Let me pause and give you a warning about the book. Don't start this book if you have a flight to catch, because you will miss it. You won't be able to place down the book. It is a really very interesting book, and I read it straight. The book is replete with funny anecdotes, such as the man who does not understand Hausa. It's a scenario when the author served as the chairman of the Rent Tribunal in Kano and had before him a case involving his uncle, Alhaji Audu Musa. Likewise, there are culture shock occasions. I will just give you a tidbit. You will read the rest in the book. Like the author's first ever experience of White Christmas in London during his postgraduate studies. I invite the readers to that portion. The reader peeps into moments of personal grief and reflections from the author, such as the loss of his mother at the age of 60, and the incident of his attempted bribery whilst he was the director of public prosecution in Kano by unknown visitors who had a gun. And he found the courage to say that difficult thing. 2 letters, no. Readers will be able to glimpse the author's high esteem in family, friendship, and work, and how all 3 are intertwined, yet not mutually exclusive, but finding a balance. You will find photographs of his vacation with family, with his children, whom he's proud of, and a lot of other things, human connections and relationships described, and something referred to as the baby at Mayondaga village. Find out. His brother instantly is nodding. The book, A Journey in Leadership, is an important recount of an important individual's steps in life. Those that are fortunate to have known him closely would pick up the book. And those who have just seen him from afar should be invited and interested to read more. Whilst those who have succinctly the favor of being associated with Tijjani M. Borodo and can retrace his steps without the help of a book will also be advised to generously share the contents with others. In all, the book is well written in plain English language. It is easy to read. In the book review, I'm invited to find something to criticize about the book. I could not find typos, and the style was elegant. There's, however, an ambiguity on the publisher. On the one part, it says Dr. Udu Yakubu, and on the other part, it says May University Press Limited. I think that is the MD of the company. I did not see a bibliography, but that could be based on the book's high originality. The man has spoken straight from the heart and mind. There was no one to refer to. The book was published in 2019, yet the author and publishers kept this book hidden away from us till 2021. We can also understand that the COVID-19 pandemic took the most of the year 2020. In fact, there are people who protest that year being added to their age. They think it's a year that should be deducted. In all, I must end with Dr. Omar Farouk Ibrahim's words in the foreword of the book. By the way, it's an excellent foreword. And it says, a journey in leadership recommends itself to understand and appreciate some of the dimensions of professional, business, and social leadership. Emphasis on the word leadership. It is also a social narrative that should inspire a sense of responsibility, and a desire for success. Success and the honest way. The book is rich in content and meaning. I recommend it to all, and I congratulate the author, Alhaji Tijjani M. Borodo. Ladies and gentlemen, those are my reviews. Thank you very much.